How you doing, and welcome back to Taekwondo Bro. We have another fight review today. We have some old school Taekwondo tournaments here. So this is that hardcore point sparring, just like they used to do it back in the day. And I'm just going to let the video play through once with the commentary. And as always, we are going to do the slow motion analysis. You know, see some of these key impacts here. So without further ado, let's get this started.
And this is round one of the men's bantamweight division finals between Eddie Lee Brochin of the Honda Midwest team in red and Giovanni Monserrate of Puerto Rico in blue.
This is a fight we've all been waiting for. I mean, it's got a lot of hype. The co-director of the tournament here fighting. Really excitement. The Puerto Rican fighter I've heard is just a phenomenal fighter as well. Let's get down to it. Both fighters saying, yep, you were close, but nothing there. A lot of speed, just missing up top, may have got him below. There he goes. Nice not a bomb for the blue player, but the red player counters. Oh, wow. Just missing with the jump back hook kick. I see a lot of emotion in this fight. Oh, there he goes. Nicely done. 3, 4, 5, 6. He got several points there. The blue player did excellent as well. Both these players are very accomplished fighters. Intense concentration. Nice not a bomb. He got him there. Nice counterattack. Comes back just missing. Whoa, look at the action. Oh, whoa, looks like the red player caught a punch to the head there. He's signaling the referee. We've got a timeout. It's amazing that he's able to fight after all he's been through putting this tournament together. We're getting a warning point. Good sportsmanship. We're back at it. Right away, he's going to let him know he's not hurt that bad. And that's the end of round one.
And we're back with round two of the men's bantamweight division final. Eddie Lee Brochin of Honda Midwest in red and Giovanni Monserrate of Puerto Rico in blue.
You know, this is the second year that Mr. Brochin's made the final in this weight division. Let's see what he can do, taking the silver last year. Oh, very nice. Look at that. Both players scoring. Furious action. The agility of both of these players. I'm really impressed with Giovanni's ability to fight going backwards. He's done very well. Several turns. Whoa, just missing with the hook kick. Underneath, double kicks, both players. There's the Puerto Rican team. Whoops, he slipped on that one. He thought he had him too. Special thanks to Master Ruben Ayala for bringing his Puerto Rican team here. They are very well-trained athletes. Both players scoring with that very quick action. Look, it's a game of inches. Look at him creep in just a little bit at a time. Here comes the explosion. Oh, he knew it was coming. Oh, he relaxes. He really caught him off guard and chases him right out of the ring. Just a few seconds left in round two. Oh, a 540 kick to the head, and then a flying side kick knocks him out of the ring. That ends round 2, I think. I think he got a point just at the end.
And we're back with the final round of the men's bantamweight division finals between Eddie Lee Brochin of the Honda Midwest team and Giovanni Monserrate from Puerto Rico.
We've got a very close match here today. Both skilled fighters. Really catching each other off guard. Wow, look at that. Straight kick very powerfully. Oh, he's pumped up now. He hadn't pulled that trick out of the bag the whole fight. Both players very skilled there. Nice coming up underneath. The blue player may have caught another point. Both players just missing several points blocking. Just missing, nice underneath. Both players seeming to act as if they scored on that play. Very powerful, chasing him right out of the ring. Very close match, both players looking at the scoreboard after every group of kicks to see how things are faring as time runs down. Whoa, that jump back hook kick just missing. Knocked to the ground. I'm not sure any points were scored. Powerful kicks a little bit low. Chasing him still. He's got to get that one back. He comes back. He's chasing him out with no time left. I don't know. It does. The score, we can see the scoreboard there. It's 7-7. That last point may have tied it up. It's going to go to referee's decision. The aggressor usually takes it in this case. And it is Mr. Eddie Lee Brochin, winner, red corner, Honda Midwest USA.
Okay, so that was the first watch through full speed. You know, the commentary was so good on this fight, I decided to let it stay. Those guys really knew what they were talking about, and I'm assuming they were there, so you got to let that commentary stand. They definitely have a really good view of this fight. So, as usual, we're going to slow down some of the exchanges here so we get a good look at what's happening. And then I'll also add in some commentary. So, starting off this tournament, how I believe it works is the first person to 7 points wins the round, and there are 3 rounds. Now, how each technique is scored, I don't know. It might be 1 point per body punch, 2 points for body kick, maybe 3 points for headshot. I don't know the exact point values here, but they're going to let exchanges happen, and then they're going to call points to see what happens. So over there we saw they both kind of went in there. A lot of round kicks. It doesn't look like any of them connected quite enough to be called a point, as they said with the commentary. And you can see their hands are down low and they kind of got that squared off stance. They are trying to bait a reaction at long range so then they can launch an attack that can't be countered. So tornado round kick there, countered, his leg got kicked with a round kick. And it looks like nothing really landed there. That must have hurt a little bit to the leg. But I think that was more of just like a counterattack that kind of got stuffed. Now that turning hook kick was intercepted midair. The guy went flying there. That is a crazy, impact right there. I love to see, some good stuff like that. A lot of acrobatics going on. Now that hook kick probably would have landed if he wasn't, kicked as he was spinning, which is always the risk of doing, these athletic kicks like that. Okay, slowing it down again. Switching feet. And then going into a tornado. So he was hoping that the switching foot would have been able to get some kind of reaction. And now they're just throwing whatever they can, trying to get the first large, clean impact, see what they can call. Now, I'm not sure if the judges are going to be like counting points consecutively, or if they're going to stop it if you win the exchange. That I don't know. I'll try to look it up and then attach it Maybe I'll put some like words and text up above to let you guys know what I've researched. But again, we're moving back in long range. You see, they're kind of like hesitant to move in past a certain point because they don't want to, attract any techniques when they're not ready. So they kind of end up in this little staring match here, switching feet, hands low. Case another tornado, counter with a long round kick. It looks like they both connected. Another round kick, another round kick. They just keep throwing now, seeing what sticks. And once they get like this, you can see the blue fighter likes to attack as he's backing up here. He's pretty good at it. Jump, axe kick, turning side kick. Looks like it connects to the head there. And we got some round kicks going off. A couple punches here and there. And they're like pretty much falling on the judges right there. So that's one hell of a show. And it also gives the judges a good view of what's going on. Looks like they broke it up. And they're deducting a point for a headshot punch. As we know, those are not allowed in most forms of Taekwondo tournament sparring. And looks like they'll be doing a warning. So I don't think they're going to take a point for the first infraction here. But if he does it again, they probably will. And they're going to start right back off after a friendly handshake there. And right away, jump, leap, axe kick right there. And apparently that headshot punch didn't do too much damage. I think they noted that in the original commentary too. And it looks like that's scored. So this is the conclusion of round one. So I'm guessing one of them, probably had above 7 there. And I'm not sure where the second guy was. They're not putting up the scores here. So this is round 2. So it's a clean slate. First person to 7, I think, is going to be the winner of this round. And then, 2 out of 3 rounds you win. So we'll see what happens. But they're going to let it go. All right, moving in. Look to bait there. Tornado. These guys like tornado round kicks, I've been noticing. It's like their go-to. And then they go into like this like left-right machine gun round kick. And also another thing with this kind of sparring is when you're knocked out of the ring, you may lose a point or the other fighter may gain a point. Looks like they've broken it back up, re-entering the ring. That's unfortunately something that happens when you like to fight on the retreat in point sparring. Sometimes you just run out of real estate. Another large feint here into that tornado. Leap, counter, and then look at that there. Looks like that connected to the head. And now they end up back in this left-right round kicks right at the border of the ring here. Now that was like a retreating tornado. So I guess he was assuming that the blue fighter would come in and capitalize. But it looks like he didn't do that. Alright, so looks like he tripped there. Things happen. It's never always perfect. Interesting, though. Maybe the ring's a little bit sweaty. You never know what's causing it. There could be a lot of fights in this ring already throughout the day. This is the championships here. Feint here, switching. Again, you see they have these large squared off stances because they're fighting at a long range. And they just are focusing pure offense. Sometimes you'll see when they move in, their hands will kind of come up. But it's really just a quick draw. They want to see who can get that first. The turning side kick, they're connected. It looks like they both backed off, waiting for the judges to acknowledge, because it looks like they both thought they got the point there. Perhaps they were both awarded a point for hitting each other. Back at it at long range here. Looks like they're a little bit more tired this round. They're not really bouncing as much. You'll catch them flat-footed when they're kind of like, strolling around at this long distance here. Hands low, shuffling in. Alright, so look at that. So that was a side kick and then into like a turning hook kick. It's a very hard kick to do right there. And now they're backing off again. So this kind of sparring, like I said, is like a high-powered offensive from long range. And they're looking for something with the serious connections that the judges will acknowledge. And if you haven't done this kind of sparring, sometimes they have the judges kind of on each corner of the ring. And they have like a panel of them up front. And they'll use hand signals to communicate, which fighter got a point. Sometimes they have red and blue flags they'll kind of put up. All right, back at it again. Slowing it down. So both of them went in at the same time. Looks like red connected, but it might be to the back, so it won't count. And a gigantic flying side kick. That is big points right there. Knocking a guy out the ring with a clean kick like that. Everyone's applauding. Major points. And that's got to be demoralizing for his opponent there. And that looks like that ended the round. So what a way to end a round winning it not only by score, but just by sheer aura over here. All right, so round 3 is going to start. Moving at it again. Now, I'm not sure if in this tournament, if they're just doing 3 rounds, and if there's a tie, they may go to a 4th or 5th. Or I'm not sure if you've won the first 2, if they would just call the fight there. I don't know. All right, so a lot of feinting here. A lot of feinting. Look at this. And then straight up to an axe kick, and that connects very clean. So it was like, 2 full rotations of just trying to fake this guy out, and it worked. He got a clean headshot there with the very impressive kick. All right, back at it. Look at the standoff here. Switching feet. That's slowing it. So both of them went in for a turning side kick, and it kind of looks like they may have both connected. I'm not sure which one would have gotten the point exactly. And then they kind of devolved into a whole bunch of round kicks at close range, just trying to secure that point. Right, they just called it back up. Adjusting his uniform. All right. Feint. Okay, so switch foot into a round kick. Counter with a round kick. Punch. Punch. Look at that. So they're in close. Another round kick. So I think blue may have won this exchange so far. Turning side kick doesn't quite connect. Turning side kick kind of misses from both of them. Now they're back at it. And they separated them. So whatever the judgment there was, they're going to move on. So the points have been scored. Again, look at this. Round 3, a little bit less bouncy than round 1, but they still have that offensive intensity. Nothing was quite clean there. So they're going to move again for the next little exchange here. Backing up into the corner is dangerous. Turning, and look at that there. So that's kind of the issue with backing into the corner. It doesn't give you the space to move. So red fighter anticipated that, and I think he was able to score a couple points there. Although blue may have tagged him on the way in, so we'll see. Again, more of these feints, hands low. It's pretty confident to just walk like that out of stance right there, but it's at such a range that it would be kind of hard to capitalize from the red fighter. All right, slowing this down, jump, turning hook, but it was stuffed and red has fallen. So blue got the points there, I would assume. Splitting it up. Again, that's a big impact right there. It's got to be demoralizing to fall like that in front of everybody. All right, so they're both kind of chipping at each other here, locked up. We'll see what happens. Backing up with blue with that round kick. Red is following him in, but he kind of pulled the kick back there. I guess he didn't like what he was seeing. Now they're back at it. Another tornado. Countered with a turning side kick. I think blue got that pretty clean. But they're still moving in. Looks like that front kick knocked blue out the ring here. And I couldn't quite see where it connected, but it may have been a point. And judging by that coach's reaction, I think it was. So, great fight so far. I think that was it. So, red has won. I put their names up front. And as always, if you know anything about these fights, if you were there, if you know anything about this organization, comment down below. I love to get more information on these old school fights. And just like always, I will see you guys next time. Take care.